It's rolling.
It's rolling.
It's rolling.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ooh. Maybe I should say something.
Maybe you should say something. Don't click away. He's about to say something.
Get your popcorn out. It's another Thursday. It's time to review one of your underwater films. Coming up.
This is what you took so long to come up with?
Yes.
Really? Oh my God. So where's your popcorn then, mate?
Forgot it in the kitchen.
It's always the same with you. Well, welcome back, guys, to another episode of reviewing your underwater films. Today we'll be actually reviewing a film that has a kind of a special meaning to me because it was submitted by an old friend of mine, by Pim Van Schendel. Pim is the way I know Pim is from a dive vacation when I was still working in the dive travel industry. Pim was the manager, the dive store manager of one of the resorts in North Sulawesi, and I was visiting the area, spent a couple of, I think even a week or so with him. Did quite some really cool diving with him. I think Pim was also the one person that has taken me on my deepest dive ever on a single tank with air. I'm not going to say how deep that was, but thank you, Pim, for that very cool experience. You might remember it. We were looking for pygmy seahorses in some gorgonias, much deeper than we should have. But anyway, so this is how I know Pim, and Pim has submitted a film of, well, his adventures that he captures on an everyday basis in North Sulawesi, Bangka, the area around there. From what I remember, he has been filming all this, his episodes, his clips that he produces with a Canon G7, and I do think he uses some light as well, but this is just from my memory because he didn't include that into the email he sent us. Right. Have you ever dived that area?
Nope.
Oh, you're up for a treat now.
So I have to go to British Columbia, Sulawesi.
Many places we have to visit. But let's have a look at Pim's video first, and then we'll discuss our travel plans, okay?
All right, let's do it.
Nice. That's some macro work there. Tiny. It's tiny. Did you see the size of the ghost pipe fish next to it? Very, very cool. Thank you
Very nice.
so much, Pim, for submitting this film and letting us review it here within this series. That was very cool. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
watching that. How did you find that for not having ever dived there?
Very, very fascinating, interesting. I mean, like the variety of wildlife he captured is amazing, and like the macro and close-up work he did was excellent. Very, very
Yeah,
nice shots.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that this is also where you can see the advantages of compact cameras, like for example a Canon G 7, or maybe I don't know, maybe it's a G9 or whatever it was, but these kind of compact cameras, they really shine in the macro area where you can get some really, really nice macro shots with them. And as long as you have some lights that you carry with you that you can then use to illuminate and then just bring enough light into your scenes, that also makes a big difference there. And I think that Pim, you did a great job in capturing all these very special critters and animals that you've showed us in this short video that we've watched. Um, do you want, or should I?
Well, I can start if you want.
Feel free.
Well, first of all, well, what I liked was the music and yeah, and your macro and close-up work. I mean, we said already, excellent work there, and the music was very fitting. It was very calm, and you showing like all this different creatures on the water in your area. So very nice there. What I really liked as well is the the shots you used. Like you used like I want to say wide angle, but you used like a medium shot to get a perspective, and then you went in to the macro and do the close-up work, and showed us how big the critter or the animal was,
Hmm.
or on which kind of call he was living, or yeah, very nice. Like to give some perspective and to see what is really happening in
Hmm.
front of the camera. So
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
was very nice. Yeah, I liked it very much. Um, but like talking about improvement, I think this is one of our top commons we do is zooming while recording, and or keep the zooming part in. I would definitely not do it because it's like more like it's I think it's a little bit disturbing when you zoom in during the clip. Um, we said that sometimes before you can just cut it out and just take the clip at the end of the zooming or at the beginning, whatever fits better to the story or to the sequence, but don't keep it in the final edit. Um, and I had the feeling, and I know it's hard to judge if you were already cropping into some shots, if it's still possible, but I would put a little bit more effort into stabilizing the shots. I had the feeling that some of the shots could use a little bit more stabilizing from the editing software. I know it's very hard because I think most of the shots were handheld, so like macro or close-up shots handheld is very difficult and is
Hmm.
already very shaky. Um, but maybe there a little bit more time in trying to get them more smoothen out and yeah, keep them less
Hmm.
shaky.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Other than that, I was fascinated and
Happy and pleased.
happy and pleased. Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, I can agree to pretty much everything that Sebastian said.
but
But the stabilizing part, I actually didn't think that a lot of the shots were insufficiently stabilized. Right at the beginning, I actually even wrote down good stability because right at the beginning you had a couple of shots that were like rock steady. I'm guessing you either had put the camera down on the sand or had it on a tripod or somewhere because there was no movement whatsoever in the first couple of clips. Later on, yes, there was some movement introduced, which also happened when you were trying to get a dynamic shot, not a stable or a steady like one position shot, but actually moving the camera a little bit, and that's when a little bit of this instability issue was introduced. I noticed it, but I didn't really find it too disturbing, in my opinion. Okay, so um, I don't think there's something like dramatic that you really need to do there. If you can obviously stabilize it a little better, a little more is always better. The swimming, Sebastian already mentioned. I really liked your sequencing. I think you got some really good sequencing, as Sebastian said as well. Particularly, I enjoyed when you were showing a macro shot, close-up shot of something first, and then you went into a mid shot showing the scene. This is like, I found this a very cool technique in making us, curious about, oh, what is this? And then showing us the entire animal in sort of a mid shot. There wasn't really any wide angle shots, but in sort of a mid shot, giving us a bit more information about the entire scene. So this I found worked very well, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah, maybe you could do a little more work on matching colors. I did find that sometimes the colors were a little off, even in between the same sequence, from like a very close up to a mid shot. I don't know how much work you've put into color correcting these clips, but maybe you could improve a little bit there, trying to match those clips a little better. So that's kind of the advice or the improvement, the one thing that I would try to work on as an improvement. Um, yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
much it.
on the color problem is when you're working with lights and then working in a macro environment, you don't have any anything outside the range of the lights. You could use the color temperature of the lights just to be sure the camera is not changing your white balance from one shot to another.
Yeah,
Just to
that's a
try to
good
fix.
point.
Maybe then you have to do less work in color correcting your shots and just fix the camera on there.
Yeah, that actually is
If
a good
that's working,
point.
yeah.
So if you are still working with auto white balancing your camera, try to next time set it to the Kelvin reading of your lights, which is most likely going to be around 5600 somewhere. That way you should get a bit more consistency on the color results that you're getting from your footage there. But yeah, other than that, that's a really small improvement that I can pass on to you there, or we can pass on to you there. Everything else, really great stuff. I've really enjoyed it. Pim, thank you again so much for submitting this film. And I felt like taken back to the time diving with you in North Sulawesi, which was great. Hopefully, we can repeat this sometime soon in the future. I would really love to come back to this area and dive it again. Maybe we can even do, well, who knows, maybe we can even do a workshop or a group trip or something over to this area sometime soon in the future. Well, we're obviously, as always, going to be linking Pim's video down in the description below. There's also going to be a link to his YouTube channel. I know that Pim has a lot of content on his YouTube channel, very similar to what he showed us today. So if you want to see more about the area there, feel free to hop over to his YouTube channel. Leave him a like, leave him a subscription, say hello from us so he knows where you're coming from. And other than that, if you guys do have a film yourself that you want to submit to the series here, feel free to send me an email to contact@matthiaslebo.com with the link to the uploaded video. Please also include some background information on what camera you've been using, if you've used lights, filters, what other accessories you were using to film your clip that you're submitting, and where it was taken. So we have a bit of a general idea of what we're actually reviewing. And then we'll get to it as quickly as we can. Right now, still about 7-8 months that you guys will have to wait until your clip gets reviewed, simply because we have so many review requests in the pipeline, and we just go one by one, and we can't really do more than one a week. But this shouldn't really hold you off from submitting your film. We will get to every single one. I promise we won't not review a clip that you submit to this series here. So this having said, do you want to do the outro? Because I've been talking way too much.
Well, guys, if you liked the video, give us a like and a thumbs up. And yeah.
Subscribe.
Oh, subscribe to the channel, of course. Very important. Um, you see, it's better when you do it. Yeah, but we hope to see you next Thursday again for reviewing You Underwater films. And yeah, until then, happy bubbles and see you next week.
See you next week, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Bye bye.